We're going to start right out with Laura Brown. Laura Brown, she's been on the show before. She is a massage therapist, but she's today going to be massaging a couple of bearded dragons. One is Clyde and one is Jake. Along with her, we have David Lewis, our favorite animal communicator, and our only one, actually. but you're our favorite, David. And we're going to be finding out what these bearded dragons are thinking. Hey, what's it like to have a bearded dragon for a pet?
Well, it's pretty cool.
They're cool.
It is. They're very nice. They're very quiet. They're very
They don't make a lot of noise.
No, no. They have a very large enclosure that they run around and climb in, and that's their day.
And where are they from?
They're originally from Australia.
Okay.
And unfortunately, like many animals, they're taken as part of a trade. And now they're brought here and bred here.
Okay.
And Bonnie and Clyde came from our local shelter.
Okay.
And I was there giving.
You mean somebody actually gave up two of them?
To the,
they probably didn't know what to do with them.
Well, that could be
part of a divorce settlement, probably.
Moving, all the old excuses for giving up your pet. So I got them from our local shelter.
Okay.
And Bonnie unfortunately passed away, and Clyde needed a new friend, so enter Jake.
So you would like, so anyone who wants a bearded dragon and they're called bearded because they have a little bit of a thing underneath their chin, but they really aren't, it isn't a beard with fur. So they would like partners, is that correct? Usually when you have animals or of this, exotic animals of this nature, they really need a companion.
They need a friend, and especially if they've had one since they were young.
Yeah, so we all need a little companionship. Yeah. David, every time you've been on, you've been talking to your animals. That's what he does. He talks to cats and he talks to dogs. He's never talked to a bearded dragon. How can you communicate with a bearded dragon?
Well, I mean, most people think this is nuts, but really, everything has an energy that if you learn how to tap into it, you can sense, something about them. Like when I was holding Clyde before, or not Clyde, Clyde, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was holding Clyde before. And
Clyde's a little bit darker.
Clyde's got the yellow, his essence is very calm. It's just very loving. It's not, there's
no aggression.
Really no agenda. Well, reptiles have small brains, but this is different. What I do is different than the brain. I don't know how to tell you, but I told Laura, we were sitting there before, and I said that they want some dried fruit in their diet. I was getting pictures of like dried papaya or dried mango, and I ask her, because sometimes when they show me things, it means they like it.
You do it all through pictures.
Mostly pictures.
Yeah, there's no communication like, hey, I want words. No,
it's mostly pictures, and then words will come along with it sometimes. But, and I also felt that Jake, who is a female, was a little dehydrated, because I've learned over the 15 years I've been doing this that if I tune into a creature and I get a headache, it usually means they're not getting enough fluids. The dehydration causes a bit of a headache. And
so how do you, so suppose she needs some water. What do you do, Laura? Do you force feed her or what? How do you, I don't know.
Well, she has access to water daily in her tank, and her food has a high water content to it. So I guess I'm just going to encourage, maybe put some more high-value, tasty, sweet things in there that.
So she'll go back to it more.
Start getting into it a little bit more.
Yeah. And what is the life expectancy of a bearded dragon?
Captivity, she'll probably make it to between anywhere from 10 to 12.
10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And will they procreate?
No.
They've been fixed?
No. She does lay eggs.
You spay and neuter?
She does lay eggs, but they are not fertile eggs.
Okay.
They're not incubated.
Okay, so yeah. And of course, we, mentioning about spay and neutering, we always encourage people to spay and neuter their cats and dogs, and so. Yeah. And that would be quite an accessory, actually. For a while they were using animals as accessories. Do you remember that? Well, you probably don't. You're too young. But anyway, they did it one time, I remember. Yeah. So, can you really communicate with any creature?
Well, you know,
I mean,
it's
bearded
possible.
dragons are a stretch.
Let me tell you something, and it's not the right season for this, and I won't go into the whole story, okay? But it is possible to ask a mosquito, you know, not to bite you, invite them to take your blood, but not leave the little bump, okay? I have not had a mosquito bite in over 10 years, okay? Because what I do is I tell them, hey, come on, but, you know, give me a break and don't. And it makes sense. The bump is an anticoagulant that they use to be able to remove their stinger.
Yeah.
So if they don't have to hurry, they take their time. It takes about 5 minutes for the giving your blood.
You are a marvelous
But when
man.
they leave, there's no bump. I tell you this is true.
No, I
and you could
believe
try it next summer,
Yeah.
okay? Because they don't have to hurry. They don't have to inject the anticoagulant. They
Okay.
take their time getting their stinger out. They take their time. I mean, if you think about mosquitoes, over the millennia, they must have genetically developed a way to hit and run. You know, I mean, that's how they survive.
Yeah,
they're taking blood for their babies and getting the heck out.
Because that's what I do. I give them a hit and run.
Before you,
believe me.
exactly, you know, before you swat them. So I'll sit there and one will alight on me and people will watch and it'll sit there for 5 minutes and I'll watch it and then it flies away and then there's nothing there.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It is
so
incredible.
You can talk
Everything has consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Every living thing has a consciousness. If you learn to connect with it and access it, then it changes the way you live. I mean, you know.
Well, I think you have a good attitude when it comes to animals. Getting back to the bearded dragons, would these make a good pet for your kids? If they have allergies, usually it's kids have allergies.
Yeah, well, sure. In that respect, they would make a good pet for the kids. Obviously, you may be older kids. You want to be careful. I don't allow anyone in there when these guys are out on the floor, because kids and their energy and their lack of attention span, that wouldn't probably be a very good mix. But they're not the cuddly, fluffy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fun romping around kind of
Probably
pet.
wouldn't find them on your Christmas card.
No, well, they're not a roll around and tussle kind of pet, but absolutely they're wonderful and they're very interesting, and they have a lot of personality. They really do have a lot of personality and hypoallergenic.
After you become acquainted with them, I'm sure their personality starts developing.
Yeah.
You can. Their personality is recognizable, I should say, rather than develops, because that. Well, this has been a treat because I love. Can you get a photo of this? This is really incredible. I love that one with the
brooch
on there. Really. Excuse this while we take a photo of two ornaments here on there. Good. So we've been talking with David Lewis. David comes on the show quite frequently to talk about his ability to communicate with animals. I have seen him in his workshop. If you have an opportunity to see him in person, you can always go to his website as well and find out more about what he does and how he does it so well. And Laura, thank you so much for coming and bringing Jake and Clyde with you. We're going to kick off this show with a couple of those great bearded.
I just want to warn you too, if you be careful. I kissed Clyde on the head before and I got a little scale in my mouth. So if you're going to kiss a bearded dragon on the head, just be aware.
Okay, you could get a scale.
You might get a scale in your mouth.
Yes, and it won't be weighing anything. Don't chew on it. Okay, good.